Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some updates in the Ripple versus SEC case from James K. Fallon. We're also going to go through a tweet thread by XRP OX. Digital Asset Investor have put up this great video talking about XRP's involvement with this biometric enabled payments little PowerPoint that was taking place. And then we're going to go over a couple different Johnny Deaton tweet threads here that I found quite interesting. Then we're going to transfer over into kind of what's going on with Voyager, Celsius, and Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX. We got an article here from Cointelegraph on the topic, and then we're going to end on this one and have a conversation about Grayscale CEO and the pro share short Bitcoin ETF that was just launched yesterday. Coming over here to CoinGecko, we're currently sitting under $1 trillion market cap. Still, we're currently sitting at 920 billion. Currently down 3.9%. If we come over here, Bitcoin sitting at 19,915. Ethereum sitting at 1,053. And XRP sitting at 0.32, which is kind of holding strong in this. Even when Bitcoin dipped down to its lowest, I think it held at like 29. Or if it did go down in the low or the high 20s, it bounced right back up into the 30 to 30. It was ranging from like the 30 to 32 range, excuse me. See if we got any gainers in the past 24 hours. Polygon, Matic sitting at 7.8, Uniswap sitting at 5.9, and so on. Coming over here, Bitcoin Fear Green Index, we're currently sitting at an 11 here. So we've had a lot of single digits, and if I'm not mistaken, let me see, does it show? How low do we? Yeah, we got a 6. Okay, yeah, the lowest I've seen is the 6 here. So which is kind of crazy to to see. Clearly, we are in like, if not at the bottom, we are near the bottom of this so-called bottom of the market. So it's just a matter of time before this thing starts to turn around, whether that's a, spot Bitcoin ETF being approved, the Ripple versus SEC coming to an end, whether it's litigation or settlement, and just a lot of other positive catalysts that can happen out there. But clearly we've been in this extreme fear range for some time now. And, I think pretty much there's a general consensus around, the crypto community that we are in a bear market. So it's just a matter of time for this thing starts to turn around and we start, transitioning into, our next bull cycle and bull market. But we're currently sitting at 11, and we've been in single digits in the past, 6 being the lowest. We've seen 8 a lot, and we had a 7 last week and a 9 just yesterday. Starting with James K. Fallon's update here on the Ripple versus SEC case, he says, the defendants requested that its response to the SEC's opposition to the Amici motion be filed publicly. Judge Torres is giving the SEC a chance to propose its own redactions to the defendant's response by June 23rd. Both letters below. So we can come in here and you can pause it and kind of take a look at what he had given us here in his tweet here. He continues, he says, Judge Torres is saying that before she lets the defendants file the response publicly, the SEC gets a chance to say if there is something in the response that should not be public and why. She wants to see what the SEC wants redacted and then rule on everything at the same time, which I think is a smart approach to take. And then he continues, says, the June 10th letter from the Ripple defendants and the June 21st order from Judge Torres allowing the SEC an opportunity to propose redactions are posted. XRP Crypto Wolf has a good point here. He says he put Judge Torres, but he meant to say Judge Netburn is taking a while just to rule on the him and emails when she knows Ripple should win, especially after the SEC's poor performance on the conference call. So he's talking about the conference call that happened. I can't remember, was it on the 7th or the 12th? It just recently happened early June. But yeah, he has a good point there. And like I've been saying in these videos, if Johnny Deaton's saying we are blessed to have, these judges presiding over this case, I'm going to just, I'm going to take his word for it and believe it. And just by the way they've kind of handled things in regards of like trying to, I guess, what do they call, they say cross their T's and dot their I's and kind of getting all their ducks in a row and making sure that there's little to no room to go back, to, I guess you could say, appeal or object to whatever litigation comes out when it comes to the judges in regards of their decisions, if this does go the distance. But yeah, I choose to kind of believe that we are blessed, like Johnny Deaton says. But it is frustrating to see, like how the SEC keeps getting all these delays, and all these different appeals and stuff just approved with like little to no hesitation, even after like all the shady stuff has been surfacing. I mean, the judges have, in-camera reviews of things, so they know kind of what's going on. And then I'm sure, if not the judges themselves, they have, representatives that's, following the Twitter community, the XRP community, and kind of seeing what's been surfacing. So, I mean, I don't know too much about law. Obviously, there's only certain things they can do, but you know, I like to believe that, you know, they're doing things right in regards of, you know, making sure that everything's, you know, nice and sealed tight. So when this thing does go to distance, if it does go to the distance, that it's going to be proper and everything's going to come out, you know, on, you know, the winning side, meaning Ripple and XRP get the regulatory clarity that they need to move forward. Moving on here, this is XRPOX, great thread here, says the XRPO has been up and running for over 10 years without downtime and had never been hacked. So I did see an interview with, they call him Joel Katz, but we're talking about David Schwartz, and he was talking about, you know, how important this network is. And I know there's a lot of haters out there, or just people that are just not educated enough and don't care enough, whether they're maxis to their own projects or not. They have this certain, you know, position or reservations when it comes to XRP and XRPL. And this is a great thread just to kind of educate people on, and don't take my word for it. You know, go to the people that are developing on it, that have been developed on it, and kind of see what they have to say. But this is quite intriguing. It says the XRPL has been up and running for over 10 years without downtime and never been hacked. The token XRP has a transaction time of an average of 3.8 seconds, scales to about 1500 TPS, burns what is that, 0.0001 XRP per transaction, uses 0.000011 kilowatt per transactions, less than Visa. Continue, says, can scale vertical to and affect suffice a limited TPS transaction per second. It's fully decentralized with 150 plus validators. There's being built, there's being built a mirage of projects on the XRPL. Stasis is building, what is that, euros in European stablecoin, and Novati is building ODC, an Australian stablecoin. He's talking about Exchange.com is building a carbon credit solution for United Nations on the XRPL. Ripple is building CBDCs for butane. Ripple build their product ODL to use XRP for settlements between FIs and banks, financial institutions and banks. Flare Network is cooperation with XRP community to engage in their huge L1 launch July 4th. Bridging liquidity from several blockchains, locking up vast amounts of unutilized XRP with self-custody and create, I want to say that's guaranteed yield opportunities. Ripple is a member of the, quote, the Digital Pound Foundation and the, quote, Digital Euro Foundation to work on CBDCs. Ripple is positioning central banks to use their CBDCs onto the XRPL. The more assets issued on XRPL equals higher price. Yeah, I mean, just hearing, you know, David Schwartz and, you know, people that really know what's going on when it comes to the technical side of things, kind of hearing them break things down in a more, I guess you say, layman's term, or I like to say just a kind of ignorant person's term, meaning myself. Like, I don't really understand all the ins and outs of the technology itself. You know, I have a certain level of understanding of it, but to hear them kind of break things down, all it does is excite me more about, you know, what I hold. So I want to thank XRPOX for throwing that up as well. I'm going to show some love on this. I did quote tweet it already. Moving on here. This is from Digital Asset Investor. We're just going to play it. He says boom with a bunch of eyes here. I love when he does these little quote tweets here. Let's take a listen in.
I read that it says source. I think that says Exolab. So I'm on Mojaloop's YouTube channel and I'm watching this video, and watch this next slide when it comes up.
That will potentially entail. But I'm now going to pass it over to...
Okay, it's called Payment Hub as Gateway Component. It's got Mojaloop right here, but look at the bottom, and it's kind of blurry. But the way I read that, it says source, I think that says Exolab, developments in India with, I can't read that, but it says connected to a private XRP-based system. Similar design for stable coins and CBDCs. Boom. So I'm on Moj.
Yeah, so he put that on there. There's been a lot of people who's kind of been diving into us. I highly recommend that you come in and check out this thread and kind of just read through what people have been servicing in regards to this, introducing the new Mojaloop CBDC Central Bank of Excellence Working Group. You can kind of come in and read all these different things. The community comes in hard when it comes to servicing some exciting stuff when it comes to the XRPL, Ripple, and XRP. Moving on here. Johnny Deaton had put up this poll here, and I thought it was quite interesting. It says, considering the Coinbase and BlockFi are laying off 20% of employees during the bear market, but this is Jesse Powell. Jesse Powell, the co-founder, CEO of Kraken FX, CZ of Binance, Bragg on House, Ripple are all hiring, along with Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX, saving companies. Who is up for crypto CEO of the year? And I put my bid in. Obviously, I'm going to shout out Bragg on House. But yeah, I mean, look at this. You know, all doing great work. You know, I don't know all the ins and outs of, you know, their contributions to the community, but clearly Bragg on House on this poll of at the time, 2,418 people with 1 day left in voting. I mean, 86.7% say Bragg on House, which I thought was quite intriguing. That's huge. He's got to be quite proud of himself. I know the community is definitely proud of him. Moving on here. This is huge, and I wanted to shed some light on this. Johnny Deaton, and you know, stepping up for the community, stepping up for what's right, you know, in establishing this class action lawsuit, growing from, I think it was originally like 3,000 to over 68,045 members. It's absolutely staggering, and I couldn't be more proud to, you know, say Johnny Deaton is representing us in the community. And you know, obviously I'm a small YouTuber, I have a small Twitter account here. You know, I'm just kind of trying to forward the message and spread the message and kind of give my insight in regards to what's going on with this Ripple versus SC case, and kind of covering just the crypto industry topics just in general. But, you know, to have someone like Johnny Deaton and all the huge members within our community really step up and fight the good fight and surface information and research and just be truly passionate about doing the right thing, I mean, it's hats off to them. So I would like to thank Johnny Deaton for this. This is huge, a huge milestone here, breaking 68,000 members in the class action lawsuit, which is absolutely huge. And also shout out to Jason Foster and Empower Oversight and all the other people that, you know, I didn't specifically speak on, but just great community coming together to fight the good fight. Right here, Johnny Deaton had put this up. He's responding to Stefan Huber here, and I'm gonna click in here. Should I click in here? No, I think I'm gonna just play here. It says, Stefan Huber puts up some great stuff too. Here goes one of the community members that's constantly working. He says, serious evidence that proves Hinman can't plausibly claim not to have known that his company represented the EEA, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, had an interest in Ethereum. He took Alibaba and Alibaba Cloud public, and Alibaba already partnered with Consensus and Block Apps in September 2016 to use Ethereum. So let's play this video real quick.
Block Apps' Ethereum-compliant platform has presented collaboration with market-leading cloud providers Alibaba and Microsoft Azure, with the aim to expand Ethereum blockchain-as-a-service cloud offering to China. According to the Linkis.com, collaboration will raise pre-Series A funding as well. Put the likes and subscribe to our channel.
So Johnny Deaton says, I guaranteed Hinman will claim he didn't know Simpson Thacher was a member of the EEA when he gave ETH a regulatory free pass. So when he gave that Ethereum free pass speech back in June 2018, he will attempt to trivialize the EEA membership. He has no choice because he must admit he wouldn't have given the speech. Each day we learn more. And then he points down to this information. Yeah, absolutely. And Tim goes, hashtag ETHGate. I love that Tim just kind of throws that subtle hashtag in there when it comes to posts like this. Moving on here, we're going to transition over. This is from Bitcoin Archive. It says, breaking. Voyager secures 15,000 Bitcoin and 200 million credit facility from Alameda to stay afloat. Obviously, there's been a lot going on. Obviously, we had the Terra Luna Foundation crash and the USTD pegging and crashing. And now you have, you know, trouble, and, you know, obviously Voyager clearly needs some help here. You had BlockFi. And then now we have Celsius going through their debacle here. And then you have Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX kind of stepping in and, as they say, bailing out these companies, or whether you want to say bailing out or, you know, helping out or whatever cases. Obviously, they're going to have their own personal agenda and gain from, you know, whatever they do in regards of helping these companies stay afloat. But this is huge, though. It says Voyager enters a $500 million loan agreement with Alameda amid Three Arrows Capital exposure. Voyager announces that Three Arrows Capital owes the firm 15,250 Bitcoin and 350 million USDC. So coming down here, there was a great little response here from Tojo Crypto. It says, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and Alameda Research CEOs offering lifeline to crypto platforms that are struggling. FTX has given BlockFi 250 million revolving line of credit, and Voyager has secured a 15,000 Bitcoin and 200 million credit facility from Alameda. Sam Bankman-Fried is doing well. So clearly, yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried, his FTX and all his, I guess, endeavors, you know, they have capital to you know, help out. And clearly, you know, there's going to be some sort of like gain. Like I said, obviously there's some sort of gain on their end, but for them to have the ability and resources and means to, you know, lend a helping hand to these companies so they can stay afloat, knowing that there's millions and millions of users that are highly being affected by it and could be devastated if they completely been wiped out as companies, that's huge. So I'm curious to see if Celsius is going to capture something. Maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. It says, what about Celsius right here, actually, right there from Bitcoin Life. What about Celsius? Yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen because I know that someone was saying right here, they have over 1.5 million retail customers. It's going to be quite interesting here. And this one too, I wanted to talk on this real quick. So we've been talking about the Bitcoin spot ETF that we've been waiting on for a long time now. And, you know, there's been like, what, eight or nine rejections by the SEC when it comes to the spot Bitcoin ETFs. It says Grayscale CEO, approval of ProShares short Bitcoin ETF shows SEC recognizes Bitcoin's maturity. So what does that mean? Are they kind of setting themselves up for like, okay, we're finally comfortable enough to see the maturity in Bitcoin, even though there's massive downside and volatility right now, they're going to all of a sudden approve a spot Bitcoin ETF? Like, was this all part of their plan? What, you know, that's kind of how my mind is thinking when it comes to this, especially why approve a ProShares short Bitcoin ETF, which is like, okay. So Grayscale, I think, is it the end of this month? I think it's the end of this month or sometime this month. They're supposed to be putting theirs up. And apparently, you know, if they get denied by the SEC again, they're going to, you know, go through the proper channels and go through litigation to sue the SEC for, I guess we can say, negligence. I don't know what the proper word is, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Is Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF going to be approved, or is the SEC going to deny them and move on? I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Like I told you, it could be one of those catalysts, massive catalysts in the market that could truly turn this thing around and kind of start, you know, climbing us out of this so-called bear winter or bear market that we're in right now. But that's what I wanted to cover within this video here. There's a lot going on right now, and this video could be literally, you know, hours long. But these are some of the topics that I just wanted to have a discussion on. Ripple versus SC updates, some status, the status on XRP and Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse and the company, and what's going on with Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, and FTX, and Sam Bankman-Fried, and so on. There's a lot going on, even with all the market uncertainty. You know, us being at 11, we were just at a 9 and a 7, as low as a 6 in regards of the extreme fear on the Bitcoin Fear Green Index. There's still a lot of adoption happening. There's still a lot of, you know, communications and dialogue and, you know, bills and laws that are getting developed to, you know, truly set, you know, a standard and give this space regulatory clarity. We just hope that it's done in a right, proper, and just way that allows this market to truly flourish and not hinder innovation and truly, you know, pave the way for our future, because we clearly see the writing on the wall when it comes to crypto. I want you to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Crypto is Key YouTube channel. I'm excited to grow it. Make sure you follow us here at Crypto is Key 1 on Twitter. We're going to continue, you know, posting and retweeting and kind of getting our insight and posting our videos on here if you want to kind of get some updates and alerts on, you know, when we post and what topics we're going to be covering in our upcoming videos. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.